around the Kennedy assassination. They said, "Why are you still alive?" And he said, "Because I stay in the sunshine."
That's right. You stay out in open. I remember telling, anyway, let me back up just a moment. You're right. You know, I forget there are 20-somethings, 30-somethings, 40-somethings, and even some 50-somethings, Alex, that don't even remember what the Clinton administration was about and who the players are, who they were, and who they're going to be again. I was with Bill Clinton. I was working for Mr. Jack and Whit Stevens folks, and in Arkansas, deep south, in that period of time, they owned everything. They were, as I learned later on in life, I learned they were the titular head of the Dixie Mafia, and I was in the Mafia and didn't even know it. And was on one of the FBI said I was only one of very few people, if any, that ever walked out of the mob when they were in it. But I was their guy. I was their fair-haired boy. Well, Mr. Witt found this guy named Bill Clinton, and he said, "I'm going to make that kid governor. Go do it." I did. I went. I found out he was a pathological liar, womanizer. I mean, this guy's sick. His wife is sicker. Hillary Rodham at that time. She wouldn't even be called Clinton. And
it's now come out that she's probably had more women than Bill.
Absolutely. You remember when I said that years ago, everybody thought, my God, how can you do that? I can do it easy. Because I've watched her. I mean, she's AC/DC. I mean, she'll do whatever she's got to do to get the power. Whatever. And whoever. So I took on the case of the Clintons, worked with him, working for the Stevens, built a power system around this kid, and he wanted to be president of the United States. We all laughed in those days because of Gary Hart and others that were caught fooling around with women, and it would be impossible for Bill Clinton to pull it off. But we went ahead and developed what was called the 86 Plan. And
stay there. Larry Nichols joins us.
Yes,
the real deal, folks, in the center of the Clinton web. He knows the Hillary plan. You heard him. Race riots in America to bring in civil emergency. That's the plan, and I've never seen them geared up like this. Looks like they're getting ready to make their move. Hillary's getting money from third world dictators and countries at the State Department to allow weapons to be sold to them. Totally illegal on its face. Doesn't get in trouble. Bill Clinton, quote, brushes it off. Settles cases for raping women in settlements, brushes it off. Feminists say it's great. This is a short segment, long segment coming up with Larry Nichols. Jakari Jackson's here riding shotgun with us today. Pop in anytime you want, Jakari, with any questions or comments for Larry Nichols. We're going to have Larry back on next week if he can do it for a full hour, just so we can get into the whole history of it with Hillary coming up. We already had him scheduled from last week. But in this short segment, you were getting into the beginning of it and putting Bill Clinton in there, and he wanted to be president. And then we'll finish up with that in this segment. Next segment, what Hillary will do once she gets in power. Because it's clear, it's not just trying to start a race war. They're trying to start a war with Russia. They've overthrown Ukraine. They've turned ISIS loose. They're so bold. They're so bold. It's like they're going for broke around the world, not just domestically, Larry Nichols.
Well, Alex, just imagine this. The system we built in a third-rate state in Arkansas in the Deep South, we learned that if we got control of the media in Arkansas, we learned if we got control of the prosecutor, the attorney general, every prosecutor in every county, guess what? We could do anything we wanted to do. And you know what? If you got caught, so what? Nobody's going to prosecute you. That has now moved to Washington. And you're exactly right. I get so fed up with people saying, oh, this, that, and the other. Hey, this is about global power. I mean, look what they're doing. They're destroying the Middle East. I know we all say it's Obama, and it is. But remember, these people have certain goals they want, and they're going to get them. And the reason Alex, I think, can testify to it, because I told him years ago, 20-something years ago, of the goals that they were going to accomplish, and here they are. It's not an accident. It's not.
Break down some of their goals, what they want, who they work for, where they're going.
Well, right now, what they want is to get absolute control of government. Because once you control government, you make the rules. The next thing they want to do, they want to move us into full-bore communism. I get kind of tickled. It's not funny, but here you got old Bernie Sanders, a socialist, running against Hillary. Nobody will tell the truth. You got a socialist against a communist. They want us to become a communist society. Then they want to take the Middle East. Why? Because if you can destabilize the Middle East, Alex, now the Clintons knew this 20 years ago. If you can destabilize the Middle East, you know what you do? You got the keys to the world. You got the keys. And so all of this is moving that way. And Hillary, may I make a prediction? Number one, Jeb Bush going to be the Republican nomination for president for the Republicans, and Hillary's going to be the next president unless, Alex, you, buddy, get on a bolt of lightning and somehow can get the Tea Party to rise up together and stop it.
Well, that's why they're targeting the Tea Party, the Liberty Movement, with false charges, setups. Dinesh D'Souza just got out of prison after 9 months.
Right.
I mean, it really is scary, the tactics they're using.
It is. And the problem is, Alex, they've got the media. They've got the money. They got all these people, Karl Rove, Mitch McConnell, John Boehner. They've got all these people playing all these little games, acting all these good guy, bad guy things. And we don't have a gathering place. We don't have a central place to galvanize us and to be able to point out what's coming before it comes. What we all end up doing now, which is what I guess I'm here for, and the reason the Clintons hate me, and the reason I'm the one that the guy mentioned in his dang memoirs of all things, is because I know what's coming. I know because I wrote the plan. And so it's coming. And all they got to do is keep us busted up, separated, and they win, especially with guys like the Chamber of Commerce. You know, those people put $50 million up, not to fight Democrats, to fight Tea Party candidates at every level in the RNC.
Yeah, you're a better analyst than, the so-called analysts they've got on Fox News. You've been there, you've seen it, and that's the thing. We've got the Republican and Democratic leadership with the wagons circled,
right,
taking over the country and literally shutting it down, trying to put us under the TPP. And now we've got Hillary racing in there to finish the job. It is just sick beyond belief.
Can I tell you all, Hillary, and if you get the book, The Genius Out of the Bottle...
Stay there. We're going to talk about that. We're coming back in a long segment. Larry Nichols, the consummate insider. That makes me sick, physically sick. We're in trouble. When Larry Nichols says this show is one of the only larger shows that'll cover these issues, I've been physically attacked. That's one thing I don't like about the Clintons. I got physically attacked and told to shut up about Waco by 5 guys. 4 of them attacked me, and they were paid. When the cops came, they tried to arrest me until they saw the surveillance footage, and they were told not to investigate it. I had all sorts of dirty tricks done. I had the military in plain clothes threaten me in parking lots. I had all sorts of other dirty tricks where feds would come to my book signings and say, hey, let's bomb the police station or whatever, and I'd go outside, I'd follow them, they'd be in an unmarked federal police car. And that's one thing under the Bushes, I kind of got left alone, even though they were involved in incredible corruption and they're tied in with the Clintons. Under the Clintons, they come after you. And I see more and more of a Clinton hand in Obama with all this persecution of conservatives, Christians, libertarians, gun owners. And it really is mafia. I mean, that's what they are. And it's Dixie Mafia meets the CIA. And what's scary is they know they're old. They've gotten to this point. This is their chance. They know where the bodies are buried. They're blackmailing people. This is their chance to move on every front. And during the break, I was telling Jakari, I was like, I can't believe as a 41-year-old person with 3 children that it's my responsibility to do this. But I can't just sit here while they hand us over to foreign corporations, take our guns, forcibly inoculate us, double everybody's health care prices, screw everyone, put troops on don't treat death list, stage shootings, Fast and Furious. I mean, I'm not trying to just whine here. It's, I use the term epic, over the top, legendary, awesomely evil. Reverend Childress was, calling it just evil genius. I mean, it's, the thing is, they're moving on every front. They're trying to start war with Russians. They have U.S. troops battling Russians right now. That's hardly ever happened. Larry Nichols, I'm ranting here, and Jakari Jackson's here with us. But I don't think I can overstate how perilous a situation we're in. Talk about what their goals were back then, where they're going now, what Hillary's going to try to do, and how racial division seems to be so central. And then Jakari, jump in any time because he's going to join us again next week just on the Clintons themselves. But bringing this forward to where we are now to understand. Because am I wrong in saying they seem to be racing to finish things? Is that out of confidence or out of desperation?
Not out of confidence. They've got everything the way it was set up to be. The thing that I guess you've left out of what we've talked about is I have to live every day, Alex, with the fact that I helped write and in most cases wrote most of the plan that is now destroying our country. That's a pretty awesome thing to wear on you. And that's why I've been so dedicated through all these years, no matter the beatings, getting shot at, reporters being with me getting shot at. Yeah, you know what? You just keep going. This is going to be tough, Alex. These people play for keeps. If y'all hadn't figured it out by now, all Hillary's got to do to win this campaign is simple. Don't let anybody get in the race against her on the Democratic side. Boom, it's over. And you'll notice that Hillary is mean enough that when they go to Elizabeth Warren, I assume, or somebody else that might pose a serious challenge, they'll make an offer that they can't refuse. The mistake she made against Obama. She should have run Obama out of the race before he ever got in it and said, son, you're too young, you'll get your chance later, but you get in my way, I will destroy you and you'll never see the light of day. That's what should have been done. But Hillary has got one flaw that Bill Clinton doesn't have. She is obesely arrogant, hates me, and she just hates doing anything except the way she wanted it. But she's not making that mistake this time. All Hillary's got to do, y'all watch, just keep anybody credible from getting in on the Democratic side against her. And she wins the race. All she's got to do is the other thing that we learned and we used every day, Alex. How do you win an election? Number one, you control your opposition. Hillary and her power players are controlling the RNC, and they're making sure somebody like Jeb Bush on earth is going to be the nominee. Somebody that cannot beat them. Somebody that cannot possibly activate the conservatives in this country and get them so excited they'll come out and vote.
The fix is in.
The fix is in. Yep. Now, not to mention, good heavens, folks, you have never even seen anybody that's rigged as many voting machines as I have. You've never seen anybody on your earth that has ever had as many dead people make contributions and vote as I have. This is coming for you. This is coming for this country. This is coming, Alex, for your children. That's why, by God, you got to fight. My grandbabies, that's why I got to do what I don't want to do. I'm 65 years old. I want to sit out in a pasture somewhere and say, hey, I've been to Nicaragua, every hellhole in the world. I'm done. I'm finished. But you're not going. Folks, I know maybe y'all think this is hyper-sensationalism, but you better listen to me. You're not going to have a country when this thing is done, and this thing is going to be in the next election. There won't be another election, Alex, although it'll happen. You know, hey, they got elections in Cuba, don't they? But they're not free. They're not fair. Either vote for who they say, or we'll kill you.
That's right. So many people who've lived in a quasi-free country, because nothing's perfect, cannot believe that they would actually go under tyranny. But the decision's been clearly made. Everything's racing towards that. And they're openly announcing, yeah, we're going to start shutting reporters down. Yeah, we're going to arrest you for your speech.
Yeah. Can you imagine 20 years ago telling a reporter that's been dedicated or put in the pool reporters that they can't attend an event by a presidential nominee? Are you kidding me? No. 20 years ago, Alex, could you believe somebody could run for president of the United States? And, oh, gee, for 3 or 4 months, I'm not going to even answer any questions from anyone. Are you kidding me?
And they play the card that she's a woman. It's everything boiled down to identity politics. And so if you don't like her, you hate women. I mean, it is
That's right.
just, it is mind-blowing. Jakari Jackson, because I want Larry to continue with his breakdown.